Ed in the Glasshouse.
Mr. President, your arse is on fire.
First I heard of this was when I read it in the newspaper today.
Folks, welcome to the Glasshouse, the program that asks the question, now footy season's over, does that mean we have to go through hanging out with our women's season for a couple of weeks? Before the start of the cricket season? More news on Eagles and Broncos just starting to sober up this week. In Germany, IBF middleweight champion Arthur Abraham has had to stop calling himself the Smurf Boxer after creators of the cartoon threatened him with legal action. He bought that at Smurf Dive and Ski. Since he can't use the name anymore, this is true, Arthur is now calling himself the artist formerly known as the Smurf Boxer. His next opponent is Prince, and they're fighting to be tiny weirdo champion of the world. He's also being sued by the creator of the Academy Awards for wearing the Oscars' genitals on his head. In Switzerland, the world's largest Swiss Army knife has been created. It has 110 functions and 85 gadgets, from a double-cut wood saw to a tool for adjusting the spokes on your bike. It's the first Swiss Army knife you can actually fit the Swiss Army in. It even has a laser pointer, important for when you're camping in the Swiss Alps and want to give a PowerPoint presentation. Or just freak out the wildlife in hunting season. In Indonesia, Muslim cleric Abu Bakar Bashir, who got a slap on the wrist for the Bali bombing, says naked women on TV are more dangerous than bombs. Bashir hates anything titillating, dirty or perverse. So in other words, he's not watching right now. Bashir also warned that watching a woman in a skimpy outfit on TV could destroy the faith of a believer. Yes, one naked woman and the whole terrorist plot goes tits up. Abubi has a real problem with sexy women. He prefers latex ones. That way he can still blow them up. But I reckon he's wrong. A dirty bomb might blow you to pieces, but a dirty girl might...
News, juvenile delinquent. According to a new British study, if burglars put their skills to lawful use, they could be as talented as surgeons or pilots. The study says thieves should be classed alongside professional men and women because they perform complicated tasks automatically and with a high degree of skill. And usually while wearing a balaclava, which makes it lots harder. So burglars really could make great surgeons. Well, you know, really, it's just another kind of breaking and entering. And I'd love to see a criminal pilot.
Today's in-flight movie will be my first appearance on Australia's Most Wanted.
You know your pilot's a criminal when he hotwires the plane. Or he calls putting on seatbelts lockdown and takeoff making a getaway. Or if he gets out mid-flight to wash the windows for $1.
Very angry news this week. Yeah, in Victoria, I've found that the state government has a website that gives tips on for young people on how to take drugs. That makes me angry. The young people don't need those tips. They know how to do it. The old people need tips on how to take drugs. Seriously, though, the tips... I don't know about the tips in this website. It's a true website. One of the tips is take regular breaks from dancing if you're on drugs. What, so you can have more drugs? Another tip is... there's heaps of tips. I've got to remember them. I shouldn't have taken drugs. No. Another tip is don't take drugs alone. Get all your friends to take drugs too! Now, there's a big hullabaloo of people are going, the government shouldn't have this website. Well, the guy who's the leader of the, chairman of the Premier's Drug Prevention Council, his name is Dr. Moody. Wonder how we got Moody. No, he's not on drugs. He says they're going to do it anyway, so they might as well be safe. And fair enough. If you're going to steal a car, put your bloody seatbelt on. No need to die. Don't take drugs. I don't, and I'm mental anyway.
All right, let's get to it. Joining me, Corinne and Dave, the Frozen Stones, in the Glasshouse tonight. The Australian cricket selector you don't want to argue with, Merv Hughes. And the Queen of Stage and Screen, Georgie Parker. All right, movers and shakers. First up, the highest paid female singer in the world, Madonna, who's transformed her marriage with a plan that requires her husband, Guy, to provide sex 3 times a week, cut down on PlayStation, and listen to her talk about her career for 30 minutes. It wouldn't be so bad, but he has to listen to Madonna talk about her career while they're having sex 3 times a week. Who would have thought Madonna's marriage would end up on the rocks? I thought it'd end up on DVD like Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's. Corinne, you're a hopeless romantic. What do you think of Madonna's plan?
I reckon if you've got to convince your husband to have sex with you 3 times a week, the marriage is in a lot of trouble. Mind you, if you look like her, she just looks like a saggy bag full of tennis balls, doesn't she? She's all hard and all
she's
these
too
weird
built.
places.
Yeah, she's too. She would scare you.
Yeah, I reckon she'd be like a praying mantis. I think she'd have sex with you and then try and bite your head off.
She would.
She mates, she kills.
She would be the one who would dominate in that relationship,
Yeah.
I think, and yeah.
And it wouldn't be sexy dominating, would it? It'd
No,
just
it'd be scary.
Yeah, you're getting married soon. Have you come to any arrangements that you need to do with your wife? Like
No,
sex
we
3
have-
times a week?
No, but we have just had pre-marriage counselling, which is, I don't know if you guys go through that.
No, we didn't.
That is scary.
Oh,
Because we had to turn up and then do an exam, each of us in separate rooms, to see how happy we were with different
compatible.
aspects of the relationship.
What, like a proper one or just like the Dolly quiz?
No. It was long, and there was like, you know, completely satisfied or completely unsatisfied or in the middle. And, you know, we were sort of fairly measured up pretty even when we came back to have it compared, except for one area where apparently I was a lot happier than she was. Yeah, can you
What
imagine
was that?
Well, have a guess.
Is it that you do the housework too quickly?
I felt like I was being ambushed, you know. She could have told me about that bit, and I've got the counsellor going, what's going on there?
I don't know how you train more, Hughesy, though, because you spend all your time downloading those instructional videos off the net.
No, as I said it during the thing, yeah, fair enough, sometimes I'm too mechanical. And I need to loosen up my...
This is good. This is going to bring you closer.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yep, it will. No, it's all good. It's all good.
I've got a very relevant question. You don't drink, do you?
No, I don't.
There's your problem.
talking about drugs and
Just take the edge off it, just a tad.
have a nip.
Maybe she should drink.
Jeez, you're
And I would
right.
say, sweetie, I was great last night.
Have you got any arrangements with your wife in this sort of way, Mervyn?
No, not really. It's all pretty casual. I think that's the way to have a good relationship.
Does she like the mow? Is the mow a thing that she... You know, is your wife keen on the mow? Or has
No,
she ever
not
said
really.
get rid of it?
She isn't.
No, not really. It's just been there since I've met her, so it's... I actually had to think about shaving it off a couple of years ago, and she talked me out of it.
She talked you out of it,
Yeah.
but she's not that keen on it.
Well,
Yeah.
I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I think change or...
But I think that's what women are
Change
like.
scares my wife.
You know what? And I think women want to have things to be unhappy about. You know what I mean?
And
Keep telling yourself that.
And don't we as partners give them plenty to be upset about.
Yeah. Feels like you're really delivering in that area, Dave.
Tell you what, I'm really happy to be single.
Oh, no, are you single? You okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Georgie's got this survey for you.
I don't have anyone telling me that my work is boring or telling me that I'm shit in bed. It's great being single.
She didn't say I was shit in bed, all right? Did not say that. There's a scale from completely satisfied to completely unsatisfied, and she was somewhere...
She was happy.
She was in the middle there, you know?
Turned up.
Did your wife ever give you incentive when you were playing cricket? Did she ever say, get 5 for today and you'll be all right when you get home?
No, I don't think my wife ever knew I played cricket.
Not interested.
No.
Did you take the garbage out move?
Well, she used to ring home, like we'd have a test match in Perth,
Yeah.
and she used to ring home. I always moved there, and my sister would say, oh, if you turn on Channel 9, it was in Perth playing cricket. So she's not into cricket.
My girlfriend doesn't like comedy. She's not into comedy at all,
think
right?
it's funny?
Yeah, well, she doesn't. She doesn't like comedy. But the other night I'm going to a gig. She goes, I'll come with you. I was like, oh, fantastic. She goes, yeah, Adam Spencer's on. He's really funny. Our next mover and shaker is English cricketer Monty Panesar, who's using a psychologist to help him prepare for Australian crowds when the battle for the Ashes starts in November. Now his secret's out. I hope the shrink's preparing him for Aussie fans chanting, Monty's a loony. Monty's a loony. Wow, that was fun. Cricket crowds can be cruel. A few years ago at the SCG, South African spinner Pat Simcox was hit with a barbecued chicken. The chook just ran out, punched him in the nuts, then went back to sunbaking on the hill. Merv Hughes was able to block out insults by stuffing the ends of his moustache in his ears. Until they started to grow inwards and take root in his brain. Merv, you gave as good as you got on the field. Is Monty being a bit of a baby?
If Monty's worrying about what the crowd's going to say to him, he's not concentrating on what he should be concentrating on. Some players sort of stand up with that. If you're like Richard Hadley, the crowd got into him and all he did was increase his performance.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. So that's probably something you should try with your newly-to-be wife, is get people barracking for you.
Just a few people in the bedroom. Dave is a wanker. And you'd be right.
Well, I can certainly perform on stage.
But, no, sorry about it. But it actually increases some people's performance, and like other players just worry about it. If you worry about it, mate, you're not concentrating on what you should be concentrating on.
You were well known for Sledge and some other players on the field, though, weren't you?
Mate, let's face it, you're not there to win friends.
No.
And it's little things that trigger you off. Years ago for Victoria, Michael Dimartina was our wicketkeeper. And the game was sort of fading out to a draw. It was late on the 4th day and there was no chance of a result. We got a wicket and this Chris Harms came into bat. And now Dimmer, as a wicketkeeper, knows who I dislike immensely on the first-class scene. And he played a lot of club cricket with this Chris Harms and thought he was a good bloke, so he just stood in the normal spot. Came through. The next couple of balls were a lot quicker than the previous few and knocked him over in 4 balls. So I just tried to kill him. And Dimmer came up and said, mate, I played with Ringwood with that bloke. He's a fantastic bloke. Why do you hate him? I just said, he's a victim of circumstance. I don't like his brother. So just little things like that. Just
Get you going.
Yeah. What about as a performer? Have you ever suffered from people yelling at you? Or...
No, I haven't. Well, I did actually do a show at the Tilbury Hotel, which was in Woolloomooloo, I mean, years ago, and I was just starting out, and sailors would come, get completely tanked and yell at you. And I was doing a show with other guys, and it was either hen nights, where they had little wind-up penises that were jumping all over the table, going, ah! and following the penises, and sailors pissed, and I had to do a show there singing Seekers songs. I mean, it was just impossible.
Did you have the chicken wire cage in front of you, like on the Blues Brothers?
Because the penises would jump, they put them on the stage and think it was funny.
I did a gig once where a guy in the front row took out his false eye and threw it at me.
Are you serious? That's not true.
I caught it though when he threw it, which I think proves I've got great hand-eye coordination.
You're very quick enough.
Threw his eye at me. At your bloody pub. pub? The one down in Maribyrnong.
Maribyrnong.
Yeah, what's it? The Angler's Tavern.
Tavern.
That was where I had the guy throw the false eye at me.
I'm only disappointed that a bloke at the English Tavern threw a false eye. It should have been his real eye. They're tough down there, aren't they?
They are tough down there.
They've got nothing to live for. Joke.
We got the Cup Carnival coming.
No, it's a great
That's
spot.
a
Don't
good
get
area.
me wrong.
Get off
I used
the
to
back.
dream of living in Maribyrnong. I did really. Dreamt of it one night. I woke up and thought, thank God that's not true. Actually, Maribyrnong's a good spot. Don't get me wrong. It is a great
Next gig
spot.
you do down there, you're going to get killed.
Oh, they love me down
No,
there.
they're going to kill you.
Yeah, they won't. They won't be watching this. They haven't got TVs.
Our favourite movers and shakers are a couple who were waiting to fly out from Samoa to Sydney recently. No one knew why the plane was delayed until ground staff came on board and asked if anyone had forgotten their baby girl in the departure lounge. Thank God someone spotted her. She would have surfaced 15 years from now as one of those weird, savage children who were raised by baggage handlers. Or she would have been stuffed full of marijuana. Georgie, you're a great mum. Ever done anything horrible to your child?
No. No. I mean, if I did, the last thing I'd do was say, guess what? What have you?
No, the root of the question isn't what they've done. Now, was it deliberate? Or, like, you got a newborn baby at the airport, it's screaming, and you think, let's just get on the plane.
Let's just get...
I'm fairly confident I will have a child and it will be...
Perfect.
You're perfect. I mean, I'm just going to make it perfect, you know. I just reckon that, you know, I can instill something in it that it knows what to do, you know. I'm pretty confident.
What, you think it's like a computer and you can program it?
Delete.
You know what about the
Dave's in the bedroom using his kid to download porn.
What about the prenatal...
Don't tell your mother.
What about, Georgie, what about the prenatal bloody classes you go to?
Oh,
how fantastic are they? I only learnt 2 things in prenatal and they were both wrong.
What was that?
I'm not
Where
telling.
the baby comes out?
How big was your baby?
Well, she was, unfortunately, I had to have a Caesar. I would love to have pushed her out because it's so much easier recuperating from a natural birth. But, yeah, no, she was only £7.7, but she was 56 centimetres long, so she was really long.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
She was
like
huge.
Like a snake.
She came out...
You only got a tiny little scar, do you?
I do, actually.
She's a lovely baby and handy for keeping the wind from coming out under the door.
I just play a flute and she comes up.
Are your kids impressed that their dad's Merv Hughes, Australian legend?
No, they're more impressed that I take them to High Five and the Wiggles.
That's what impresses. I actually did. I was the Rainbow Queen in the Wiggles video, the latest Wiggles video. And Holly saw it and she was much more excited about meeting all the suits. Wanted to meet Dorothy, Wags, you know.
Not keen on Captain Feathersword?
Well, she likes him because he's funny and he's got a feather.
You people talk a language we understand.
Yeah,
I've got no idea.
I'll give you a couple of years, Hughes, you'll be right across this stuff.
Thomas the Tank.
Thomas
the
the Tank
Builder.
Engine, Bob the Builder. Yeah, Postman Pat.
then you go through the Power Rangers.
Yeah, the Power Rangers and
Into
Ninja
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Turtles. Ninja Turtles, hey?
Yeah, Ninja
Ninja
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Turtles. Yeah.
You two want to get a room?
Later in the Glasshouse, New Zealand still refuses to get off the dole.
We have neither the inclination nor the money to do so.
Mark Philippoussis reveals why he's never been caught perving on Paris Hilton.
I really feel like I'm peaking at the right time.
And Bill Clinton finally comes clean on what he said to Monica Lewinsky after she came out from under his desk.
You got that little smirk on your face. You think you're so clever.
Tonight's question on the Glasshouse is, what's the worst smell in the world? Let's find some answers. What's the worst smell in the world?
Blue cheese, definitely blue cheese. It's too French.
Would you ever think about eating it?
Blue cheese, absolutely, yes.
Ooh, you two married?
No.
You want to consider it? All right, what's the worst smell in the world?
A room full of English backpackers.
Ooh, ouch. Yeah.
Don't know how they get any women.
Ooh, a bit jealousy coming in there. What is the worst smell in the world?
Dirty nappy under the car seat.
Ooh, you've got a baby?
Yeah, I did it to my sister to get her back.
Oh, whose nappy was it?
Her daughter's.
You've gone out and put it under her car seat and hoping it'll take her a while to find it.
I reckon it'd have to be cooking broccoli, Dave.
Wow, you're not a real veggie man.
Well, I reckon there's a reason that it looks like a cartoon fart.
I never thought about it. I never liked eating it before. Now I'm way off it. What is the worst smell in the world?
Definitely male cat piss.
You're a connoisseur of cat piss, are you? How do you tell?
I've got 2 male cats.
Right.
Yeah, and before they were castrated, they really stink.
So that's one of the reasons why you took away their testicles?
Yeah.
What's the worst smell in the world?
His fart.
Everyone! Mate, the whole group has announced you. What is going on?
I wonder what they seem to say.
You don't mind, you love them, don't you? It's like mother's milk to you, isn't it?
Light them up every chance,
Yeah. What's the worst smell in the world?
Your breath.
Oh, really? Is this?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Is this? Really freaked me out now. I don't know if I can go on. You're not going to mint?
Crap news for compost. A batch of fertiliser made from fermented cane toads has been exploding in the Northern Territory, covering buyers and their houses in a sticky, vile-smelling liquid. Of course, we are talking about the top end. I'm surprised the locals haven't started drinking the stuff. But give them time. Hughesy, I'd like your help.
Thank you.
I want you to be a cane toad and we're going to interview you. First question, Dave of Dave Hall.
Oh,
how do you feel about your mates being turned into fertiliser?
Oh, yeah, wrapped, you know. I haven't got that many friends, so I love it when they're liquefied and poured over grass to make it green. They're not happy at all.
I've heard you've been announced that the cane toad is now a Queensland icon. What do you think of that?
I'm bloody impressed by that. We're up there with bananas and pineapples and Pauline Hanson.
You're in great company.
Exactly, all things that are good to lick.
Breeding of the cane toads, they're everywhere. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you have a mating season?
I'd love to live in your moustache.
Do you have a mating season, or does it just go out at 12 months a year?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty much a perennial or an evergreen. I just go at it.
Do you have one partner, or do you have many partners?
Oh, who are you? My wife?
Well, no, I want to ask this. What's your most attractive quality?
I believe it's my,
His decisiveness.
No, it's my warts. They're very well placed.
And you do indeed have some very delicious. Now, where exactly is the appendage? How do cane toads mate?
They, we root.
Yeah, do you do it froggy style?
No, we don't. We don't actually like frogs.
You don't like frogs?
Don't like frogs.
Why don't you like frogs?
Oh, frogs are all... Everyone loves a frog, but no one loves a toad.
Why?
I mean, what's a frog except a bloody toad that's, you know, prettier?
Small. So you're the big kahunas.
Oh, we're big. We're massive.
You're the big boy.
Yeah, don't you know it, baby?
Now, if I pick you up and lick your back, do I get high? Or do I just get warts on my tongue?
It depends where you lick, basically. I do have a real sweet spot somewhere, but you have to find it, Merle. And I know your tongue and the way it goes. Yeah, I don't reckon it's going to find it.
Well, that is the big thing. If you lick a cane toad, you get high. If you lick yourself, do you get high?
I certainly get happy.
Why do you puff up? You know, you can bloat up and why do you do that?
I can answer this.
Oh, I answer it. I thought I was a toad, but
I can answer this, but...
All right, you mustache freak.
It makes it easier for Queenslanders to hit them with one wood.
Oh, yeah, that's very fun, isn't it, to use us as bloody practice for your stupid golf.
Do you enjoy that?
Oh, if you get me in the right spot.
award the coveted Glasshouse trophy, which this week is called... And the winner of the Come Out With Your Pants Up Unexpected Chafing is Kenneth Brooks, who's a bit off colour after he robbed a bank in Florida and stuffed the money down his trousers, only to have a dye bomb concealed in the cash explode. Gives new meaning to the term money shot, doesn't it? Yes, old Crimson Dick really stood out in the police lineup. Ken tried to explain the red dye oozing out of his pants as the result of a vicious tandoori dinner he'd had the night before. So the trophy goes to the brightly coloured exploding pants of Ken Brooks. After that kind of trouser trauma, I think it's safe to say there won't be any more stick-ups for him. Probably won't be any more bank robberies either. But that's the way it is for Wednesday, October the 11th. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you, Merv. Always a pleasure. And let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines. The Oz says Bush threatens North Korea. Finally finds enemy that does have weapons of mass destruction. The Illawarra Mercury reports Labor vote creeping up. Beasley now nearly as creepy as Howard. From the New York Post, Google buys YouTube for $2.2 billion. Throws in extra dollar, gets Telstra. And in the Sunshine Coast Daily, Al-Qaeda aborted plan to gas Aussie cricketers. Team immune, thanks to Warnie's baked bean diet. Good night.
If you're in Sydney and would like to be part of an entertaining, fun-filled night out, then join the studio audience for the